Welcome to Days at Dogwood Canyon, a nature podcast brought to you by Dogwood Canyon Audubon Center in Cedar Hill, Texas. This is a podcast that will take you into our 200-acre wildlife preserve in the heart of the DFW Metroplex. Take a quick weekly break with us and get outside with the fresh air, the trees, and of course, the birds. My name is Kiersten, and I'm Center Coordinator Community Programs here at Dogwood Canyon Audubon Center. Welcome, listeners, to our Days at Dogwood Canyon podcast. This is a podcast about nature, birds, plants, and us. We will talk about how we all rely on each other to live our best lives. Let's talk about woodpeckers. One of our permanent residents is the red-bellied woodpecker, Melanopus carolinus. This bird is considered a medium-sized bird at 9 to 10.5 inches and weighing in at about 68 grams. They are a vision in red, black, and white. The back, wings, and tail will be outfitted in black and white vertical striping. The face, neck, and belly are white with a red dot in the middle of the belly like a belly button. That is where they get their name from. And yes, it is very difficult to see unless they're hanging off of a bird feeder exposing their belly to you. Mature males will have red from the beak that goes all the way over the head to the neck, while females will have red from the back of the head down to the neck. They all have long, chisel-like black beaks that are strong and perfect for opening seeds and excavating insects from under tree bark. Red-bellied woodpeckers are permanent residents in most of their range, which is almost all of the eastern United States, from north central, and eastern Texas to the East Coast, and from southern Minnesota all the way down to the Gulf Coast states. The far northern populations will migrate south occasionally during winter months. They prefer wooded areas with old-growth trees and plenty of snags. During the winter, they will visit backyards with bird feeders available. The red-bellied woodpecker eats insects, fruits, veggies, seeds, and sap from sapsucker wells. They use their strong beak to tap tree bark for hidden insects. They can hear the movements of the insects under the bark and will choose the best spot to capture their prey. They have long tongues that allow them to hunt insects that may be squished into small crevices. The males actually have longer tongues and slightly wider tips than the females, which allows him to hunt in deeper crevices than the female. I think that's pretty smart. Why compete for food with your mate? Typically, females will look for insects on the branches of trees, while the male will stick to the trunk due to this sexually dimorphic adaptation. Isn't that pretty cool? Most woodpeckers have similar calls, but if you know what to listen for, you can tell the difference between the species from just their calls. If you hear this, or this, it's the red-bellied woodpecker. Now you may also hear this. Especially during mating season. Males will drum to attract a mate and to establish territories. And hey, maybe just because they like it. They will often pick structures that resonate to increase the distance from which their drum can be heard. That's why you might hear them on your metal roof or light poles. That metallic sound resonates extremely well. They'll also pick hollow trees and telephone poles, as they are also great resonators. Many people wonder how exactly a woodpecker can stand to strike its head on a solid structure for so long, or really at all. Well, they have a few adaptations to help them from getting brain damage or terrible headaches. They have no space between their skull and their brain, for one thing, so their brain doesn't smash into the side of their skull. They also have a long, long tongue that wraps around the base of the skull, offering some extra cushioning. How helpful is that? Those are some amazing adaptations. No concussions for these guys. Both of these adaptations allow woodpeckers to drum to their heart's content. Mates typically stick together for several seasons, especially if they have a good breeding season. They do make their nests in dead or dying trees, and that's why leaving those trees up in the forest is so essential. They have to have those dying or dead trees to make a nest. They will work hard hollowing out a nest and then move in after a few days to let it harden up. Both male and female will raise the young. A typical clutch will range from 2 to 4 chicks, but they can be as numerous as 8. Both parents will share incubation duties, usually the male at night and the female during the day. Once it's time to start feeding those babies, mom and dad will go out in search of insects. Woodpeckers' nests are important to more than just woodpeckers, though. Old nests that are not being used by woodpeckers anymore are utilized by owls. Screech owls, elf owls, and pygmy owls found all across the continent will use old woodpecker nests. Woodpeckers may not use the same nest year after year, and when they move on, or maybe an owl moves in before the woodpecker returns, that nest will be home to owlets for the breeding season. Where can you see red-bellied woodpeckers at Dogwood Canyon Audubon Center? Your best chance of catching a great-looking one is in our Canyon View area. We have bird feeders hanging there that contain some of their favorite treats, such as black oil sunflower seeds, shelled peanuts, and suet. The best time of year to see them is in winter, when insect activity has died down. We offer the high-protein peanuts, bark butter, and suet in the colder months to help all the birds stay warm, and the woodpeckers certainly enjoy those. You can see and hear them all over the preserve year-round as well, so don't be surprised if you catch a flash of red while hiking any of our trails or spending some relaxation time in nature play. I hope to see all of you out at Dogwood Canyon Audubon Center soon, looking for the red-bellied woodpecker. Audio provided by Lang Elliott Music of Nature.